Howdy YouTubers, this is once again your friendly neighborhood Theophage, and a special howdy to God is Real 101. This is another response to one of your videos. This video is entitled, The Atheist is Angry. And being as I'm an atheist, I think I'm qualified to comment on this. Now in this video, God is Real 101 mentions a lot of things that atheists get angry about. And he ends it with, "Hey atheist, why are you so angry?" And I'd like to answer that question in this video. Some of the things that God is Real 101 says that atheists are angry about, I would absolutely agree with. For example, he gives, the atheist is angry when God is mentioned in school. The atheist is angry when in God we trust is on the dollar. The atheist is angry when the 10 Commandments are seen on the wall in a courtroom. The atheist is angry because city officials pray before a meeting. The atheist is angry because the U.S. Senate and House had chaplains, etc. Now, it's funny because I'm surprised that this isn't completely obvious to everyone. I'm surprised that we're still having to explain this, but I understand because sometimes it's the most obvious things that are like right in front of your face that sometimes, you know, people have a hard time seeing. And in order to help you understand a little bit better God is Real 101, how about if I take some of these situations and change them a little bit? Suppose that before the session openings of the Houses of Congress and the Senate, suppose we gave Muslim prayers. Suppose we had Satanist prayers. Suppose there was there had to be a Satanist, we're talking Church of Anton Zander LaVey, chaplains in the Congress at all times. How would you feel about that? Suppose the government decided to start implementing Sharia law. How would you feel about that? Suppose instead of in God we trust on the dollar, suppose it said we trust in God and his prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. How would you feel about that? Would you be angry? I would be angry. Why? Because it is about fairness. It is about treating people equally. See, you're not complaining about any of these things because they pretty much go along with your beliefs. Your beliefs are in the majority. The majority of the United States is Christian. And even though Christians have different groups, different denominations, most of them are similar enough so that you just use the word God or whatever. It's fine. It's inclusive. So you don't mind because even though the state is being unfair, they are being unfair toward you. But if you just stop and think about it for a minute, what if they were being unfair but not toward you, but against you? Would you be angry? Would you be upset? Would you at least go, dang, that is not fair. We shouldn't have that. That is why atheists are angry about these things. Because when the state supports or promotes a particular religion, what it's doing is being unfair to the people that the state represents. It is cutting some of us out. It is saying, you don't matter. You're a second-class citizen. Go off in the corner and ignore us for a little while. The big boys are talking. That's what that's about. And that's bullshit. Shouldn't you be angry? You should be angry at these very same things just as much as I am, because they are the state giving preference to one particular religion, one particular belief, instead of being inclusive. Now, how can we be inclusive? The only practical way to be inclusive is to be completely secular. Religion has no business in the state's business. Do you understand that? It has no business in the schools. Now, this is not saying that religion has no business in the public life. It absolutely and most certainly does. And it absolutely and most certainly is. Ask yourself, how many Christian TV stations are there? How many Christian radio stations are there? They're all over the place. Drive through any town. How many churches do you see? Christian churches. You see a lot. Religion is in the public space. That's unavoidable. And that's the way it should be. It's okay. But religion does not belong in the state, in matters of the state. And yes, schools represent the state. It is as simple as that. Just as you don't want Satanism in the government, just as you don't want Islam in the government, so too should we not have Christianity in the government. We shouldn't have atheism in the government. Imagine to yourself if Congress began its sessions going, yeah, God doesn't exist, Jesus is a legend, the Bible is a book of myths and fairy tales. And suppose they all had to say, yes, 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 you're right about that, before they began Congress. How pissed would you be? Do you think that kind of stuff belongs there? No. Atheism does not belong in the government. What does belong there is being secular. That is, removing religion entirely, and that way it is fair to everyone. So now you know why atheists are angry about these things. My question to you is, why are you against fairness?